Jim spent years defusing bombs in the Army, but the battle didn't end when he came home. Now, he puts his hands into thousands of bees.
And that last tour in Iraq just sucked the soul out. That was tough.
Welcome to Back Roads and Front Porches, where the stories of small town America come to life. We found Jim here in Linden, North Carolina, at a place called Secret Garden Bees. It's one of the stops you can stay at through Harvest Host, but what's happening here goes way beyond that. Take us back. What were you doing in the Army?
Well, first I was a paratrooper here in the 82nd Airborne, and then that was my first deployment. And then when I got back, I changed over to bomb disposal in 2005, and did that, and then did another tour in Iraq. And that last tour in Iraq just sucked the soul out of me. That was tough. That was during the surge in 2007, and that was tough. So when I got back, my wife and I decided it was time for me to get out of the Army. And I had just tons of injuries, physical, mental. I took a beating. I went into the corporate world teaching. At first, I ran a program to teach people how to avoid IEDs, and then I ran some training programs for the Army Reserve, and that's where I was a program manager. When there's a war going on, half of the people are deployed, and everyone else is out on these VIP missions wherever those folks are traveling, so you were gone a lot. So that was, a challenge. And then when we're in Iraq, good gosh, at 2007 we were doing in Baghdad, it was 150 IEDs a day.
So you come home, you get into the corporate world. Did you realize something was off right away, or from a PTSD standpoint, or was that something that came on later?
Yeah, I realized something was off. So when I got out of the Army, I was able to start getting a lot more medical care for injuries, number one. And once those started getting fixed, I was really surprised by what lack of pain felt like. I was like, is this how everyone else feels? This is pretty cool. I've got a piece of shrapnel stuck in the side of my head too, so that doesn't help. I didn't fully realize I had a problem though until I stopped working every day on like Fort Bragg or things like that where everyone wears name tags. When I went to the corporate office and started working, everyone doesn't wear name tags anymore. And that started to become a problem. That's when I started realizing this is a problem. I have no idea who any of these people are. Like, I see them every day, but I can't remember who they are. And
fast forward, you're in your corporate career, and you told us you were an executive, I guess.
Yeah.
It was. Like you said, multiple screens of spreadsheets and all this.
Yeah.
What happened there that?
Yeah, I couldn't absorb the data. Is what I started finding. And I realized I couldn't do that, and what it would do is it would make me angry. It's good to have an accountability person around you, like, Jim, this. I said, okay, I got to do something. I tried, some medication that the VA gave me, and it did. While it helped that problem, it just made me numb. That's not what you need. So again, one of my friends who's a beekeeper, another veteran beekeeper, said, Jim, try some bees. I got nothing to lose. So let's give it a go. The number one, and number two suicide rate in America is veterans and farmers.
That was the bet Jim made on himself, and this is what it became.
Keys to bees is you have to be calm. You got to be steady. You got to be deliberate. You got to be focused. You got to be in the moment with them. To do that, you got to shut everything else out. Just focus on that and just be calm. Even when they start stinging, you just got to be like, really? Is that necessary? And girls, come on now, I'm here to help you. And that is really solid because when you begin to ramp up on anxiety and things like that, your brain can't help itself. But when you stop, turn that off and go focus over here and deliberately do this, when you go back to that thing or go back to other things, it's easier because you're you're back down where you need to be.
Okay. Did you realize that they were helping at that point, or did it get bigger before you realized
No, I realized it
right away?
pretty much right away. Super good. Yeah, I mean, especially it was during COVID. So, everything's changed all at once. And, when you've got anxiety and PTSD, routine is important. And suddenly your routine is broken like that. So it was easy to see right away that this was a good deal.
What Jim built out here goes a lot further than bees.
We found this place in foreclosure, 17 acres. We got it out of foreclosure. I mean, it was like life after people.
Mm-hmm.
So, like this building here was
Big
like
baby.
completely grown over with English ivy.
Okay.
So we've just been, but the house was in good shape. It's an 1850 home. So we last 10, 12 years just getting after it.
Red. My goodness.
Vicious guard dog. This out here is the new warehouse. What this was a 40-year-old equipment shelter. Just a roof and steel posts. And yeah, we put a new roof on it and closed it in, and should be good for another 40 years.
Right.
So after we harvest, we store the honey in the 5-gallon buckets in here. You can see we're running low, but it's getting close to harvest time again. So this will fill back up. We used to do it in that building over there, and that load I took out today would have taken us a week and a half to do it working out of that building. In here we knocked it out in a day. Then we got some cooney pigs over there. Coonies. They're a smaller, friendlier, cleaner variety of pig.
Yeah, I did notice that.
Yeah. But the downside is it takes about 18 months to 2 years to get it to size.
He built all of this. Then he started giving it away. One of the things I read is that on your Harvest Host pages, not only did it help you, but then you started to help other veterans with it. How'd that come about?
So, well, I mean, I decided to turn this into a business after I sold $200 of honey or something. It's nothing. But I'm a program manager and I'm trained to build business and run business. And so my brain just started clicking and I went, I could do this. So I went to my wife and thank God for, a good wife. I went to her and I said, hey, honey, here's what I want to do. I want to leave the corporate world and I want to be a farmer. And not just any farmer. I want to be a honey farmer. It's a great plan. And thankfully she helped me out. There's a lot of farmers. There's a lot of veterans who want to enter farming for the same reasons I do. It's good for you. And the problem is we don't teach farmers how to run a business. We don't teach people how to put it all together. We're really good here in America at teaching people how to make a thing. But we're not great at teaching, especially in the farming world, how to run a business. And so that's a huge barrier to my fellow veterans. And I said, you know what? My fellow veterans are smart. We're well trained. We know how to work. We know how to do this. Somebody just needs to show you how to do this. So I said, you know what? I'm going to start helping. So I linked up. Turns out the county has a Soldiers to Agriculture program that I didn't know about. So I help them, and I'm a speaker for them, and I bring veterans out here with it. That moved into the state has a veterans farm, and I work with them in the same way and help them work through things. Because the way I built this is not simple. If you don't have someone showing you how to run this as a business, in the way I did it, you would not be able to figure it out. I just had 14 years of experience doing it at a large scale. So teaching them this has been really, really good, either from just guys who want to come here and work or people who just want to learn how to turn it into their own business.
How long have you been involving other veterans?
We started it in about 2022. Would have been 2022, yeah, because 2022 is when I left April of 2022 is when I left my corporate job.
Okay.
And then I had time, to involve folks. And I wish I could say it was completely altruistic, but an extra hand or two goes a long ways. So that was it worked out well. They got to learn something. I got some hands, and in that stage of the business, that was really important.
Any idea how many veterans you've had come through?
Hundreds and hundreds.
Is there one particular person or story that stands out?
I've got several. I've had people, sometimes they don't listen well. You tell them, hey, you're going to come out and volunteer at a bee farm, honey farm. I need you to wear boots and long pants. I'll provide you a jacket, but you need boots and long pants. And I've had people show up in yoga pants. I'm like, it's long pants. I'm like, all right, number one, bees don't like black. And number two, they're going to sting right through it. And she was like, oh, I'll be fine. I'm like, you're a veteran. You're a big girl. This is on you. And she learned a valuable lesson that day. Another guy showed up in shorts one day. I was like, he's like, no, I'll be fine. I'm like, you're not going to be fine. But he's like, all right, I'm going to do it. Again, this is going to be amusing to me. He did. He lasted about 10 minutes. And sometimes that's a lesson. Sometimes the lesson when veterans come out here and learn what it takes to run a farm, sometimes the lesson is farming ain't for me. Sometimes the lesson is I don't need to run my own farm. I need to go work for someone. And that is a good lesson. That's where we want people to be. Because I would rather, they go do something that's profitable and good for them than run themselves into a problem. Yeah, here in my case, I've got now 2 other veterans who work here full time. We've been blessed. I was able to use my lessons I learned in the corporate world to leverage a number of employment programs that are out there to help people. And veterans are one of the key demographics that those programs are designed for, and they don't take advantage of them. As a matter of fact, now I have the extreme privilege of being selected for the North Carolina Governor's Workforce Development Council as an agricultural representative for the entire state of North Carolina on that council. And I'm always bringing that one up. Hey, let's not forget about agriculture. Hey, let's not forget about veterans. You guys are completely overlooking this segment. And that's been highly satisfying to be able to help at a larger level.
If there's a veteran that sees this, that's struggling, what would you say to them?
Get some help. A veteran or a farmer, by the way. I have found that the mental health resources for farmers, by the way, far exceed the mental health resources for veterans. And that's honestly what got me through. I needed help. And I really and truly needed help. And the VA was like, I'll see you in 6 months. I'm like, well, it's going to be a little late. It's either going to be fixed by then. I'm either going to be okay or, but the farmer resources were excellent. Either way, get some help. And some of that help may just be, you just need to go talk to some other veterans because we've all been there and done that.
Knowing what you know today, if you could go back in time to when you were at your lowest, when you were struggling the most with it, what would you tell yourself?
Tell myself what other veterans and told me. It's just keep going. It's not that bad. This too shall pass. And the lesson I've learned over and over and over again is that the Lord will not give me anything I cannot bear. And that He has a plan, and it's not my plan. But in the long run, I'm gonna be right where I need to be if I'll just trust the process and keep going.
Jim didn't come out here to be a beekeeper. He came out here to survive. But somewhere between the first hive and tens of thousands of bees, he found something the Army couldn't give him and the medications couldn't reach. Focus, purpose. And now he's handling that same lifeline to other veterans, one hive at a time. That's what a hometown helper looks like. Not a program, not a headline, just one man, a few boxes of bees, and the quiet belief that somebody else can make it too, because he did. Have you ever found healing somewhere you never expected? Tell us in the comments. Jim's story might not be the only one here.